Good morning there, friends and neighbors. Bobby here today. Hey folks, today we're going to talk about installing cabinets, okay? I'm out here in my garage, and if you've seen some of the other videos, I'm doing a garage makeover. I've got some older cabinets that I'm going to hang up along this wall right here, all the way to the corner, and they're going to go down this wall just a little bit too. And whether you're installing cabinets in your garage or cabinets in your kitchen, you'll be able to utilize some of these principles that I'm going to teach you today. Okay, so friends, first of all, you want to find out the height that you want the bottom of your cabinets to be. And what determined that for me was this light switch here. I wanted to make sure the bottom of it was above this light switch. So what I did, took a measurement from the top of my cinder blocks down here on the foundation up this wall, and come to a measurement here that was about 1 inch above the light switch, okay? Now, was that good enough? No, because we went down here on this end and we've done that same measurement, and actually when we stuck a level up here, it was actually trailing downhill because the foundation is a little bit off. So what you want to do is go ahead and find your point here, and then you want to take your take at least a 4-foot level and put your level on your mark, and make sure the bubble's nice and leveled, and then draw you a line along the top of your level, okay? Okay, so after we done that, we went ahead and put us a screw in our OSB right here, brought us a chalk line all the way down to the corner, okay? And lined it up on our mark that we drew, and popped us a line across there, and we double checked it, and it's level all the way down to the corner. Now once we got down to the corner, we were able just to go all the way to the end and then put the level along this wall and draw us another line, okay? Now you see that there's 2 lines on here because the first line, like I was telling you, the one, it was actually lower on this end. You can see it's quite a bit lower, about 1.5 inches lower. Whoever done the foundation on this garage here definitely did not worry too much about things being level, but at least our cabinet's going to be level along this wall. So once we get this line popped on here, I'll show you the next step. Now friends, for the next step, what we've done is we found us a good straight 2x4, and we screwed it to the wall right here on our line that we just got through chalking, okay? We want to go ahead and put that right on the line so the cabinets are actually going to sit temporarily on this 2x4. That's going to help a whole lot with installing them, especially if you're installing them by yourself. You got something for them to rest on. So that's step 2. Just take you some 3-inch screws or so, and you only need a couple of them to hold up each board, and just screw your 2x4 right to the wall, right on your line that you just got through chalking. Okay friends, here's our first 2 cabinets here that we've already attached to one another. They're going to sit in the corner, and what we done actually yesterday, we went ahead and after we got these things prepped and everything, went ahead and clamped the 2 cabinets together right here, and we come in on the inside and ran some 2-inch screws, okay? So we've actually got these secured together. They're pulled up nice and tight, and we even went right over here in the back corner and we ran a screw in here so we can lift this whole thing up, and that's what we're getting ready to do. I'm gonna lift that up, and I'm gonna walk it over here and sit it up here in the corner on top of our 2 2x4s, and then I'll get a screw in there just temporarily until we set our other cabinets. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now friends, we got this the first 2 cabinets here hung here in the corner. We just lifted it up, set it up in place, and I just put 1 screw in for right now because I don't want to screw it down too tight just yet in case I have to tweak it around a little bit. Because what we're going to do now, we've got 2 more cabinets here that we're going to set along this wall. We're going to go over here and clamp them together and screw them together on the faces here before we bring it over here to lift up here. But in case I got to do any type of tweaking when I start clamping up to this cabinet here, I want to leave this sorted where in case I got to move it a little bit I can. But for now, it's up there, got 1 screw in there, and it's sitting good on the 2x4 here. That's what makes life so much easier. So let's go over, get the other 2 cabinets clamped together, and we'll bring them over and attach them to the wall too. Now here's our other two cabinets. We got them laying here flat on the floor, okay? And here's where we've got to bring them together and clamp them. And what we're going to do is screw through these two faces to hold them up together. So friends, the type of clamps that I'm going to use are these little, I believe they're made by a Bessie clamp. And what we're going to do is flush up the bottom of the cabinet. And then we want to flush, so we want to pull up and flush the faces and put your first clamp at the bottom like so, and we're going to do that and get that pulled up tight, and then we'll go right up to the top and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to flush up the face and install the clamp. After we do that, we'll drill some screws and I'll show you how we do that. Now friends, we got the two cabinets clamped together about as tight as we can get them. These old cabinets here are kind of warped up a little bit, but we got them pulled together pretty tight. If you're dealing with new cabinets, you probably won't have as much trouble as that I just did. But anyway, here's our drill, and what we're going to do, we're going to come down here as close to the bottom as we can, right here in the side of this face here, and we're going to drill a hole in the center, all the way down as far as we go. Now friends, I'm here tonight and I've only got like some 2.5 inch screws, and I don't know if that's going to give me enough bite. Typically you want to have a screw long enough to where you can get definitely, you know, more bite into the other cabinet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take another bit. I'm actually going to countersink this a little bit where I can get a screw to go in there a little bit deeper. Typically you won't have to do that if you have the correct size screws on hand. But let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and drill these holes, and then we'll run these screws in here and we'll be ready to hang this cabinet. Okay, we've already drilled our holes, and we went back with a bit that's about 5/16, 3/8 in diameter, and we went ahead and run it in about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, kind of countersink these holes a little bit. And let's go ahead and we'll take one of our screws here and we'll just get it started by hand. And we got our cordless impact here ready to go. And we'll set that right on down. Alright friends, we're going to go ahead and screw all these down, and then we'll probably put a couple screws on the back side, just kind of hold it together, and we'll be ready to install this thing. Friends, we got our cabinets screwed together now here in the middle. We did a pretty decent job, about the best we could hope for with these old cabinets. But typically, if you're doing a set of kitchen cabinets, this is what makes the look very professional, is when you do get things pulled up nice and tight and flush and screwed as you're hanging cabinets. That's why sometimes it's easier to lay them all out on the floor, kind of get them screwed together, hang up a couple sections at a time, and if you got a helper, you can actually lift up more of them and put them on the wall at one time. I'm actually getting ready to have to lift these two sections up and set them up on top of that board, and it's going to be about all I can do to do that. So that'll be our next step, friends, and then we'll actually have to clamp this edge, you know, with it up on the wall to the cabinets that we've already got hung up there, and I'll show you how we get that done too. Okay friends, now we got the other two cabinets up here, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't easy, but wasn't that bad anyway. It's just heavy, you know, lifting it up here, but with having that tube before there on the bottom, that makes it possible, you know, to do it as a one-man job. And we got one screw in it, just holding it up against the wall right there for now, same as we do over here on this side. Now right here we're going to have to bring these two faces together, so I'm going to get my clamps and we're going to do it just like we done the two on the ground. We're going to pull them together, flush them up, and drill and screw through the faces to pull them together nice and tight. And after we do that, friends, we'll be ready to go ahead and run our 2.5 inch cabinet screw to attach to the wall. We'll find all the studs and we'll go along our top here where we have our 1x4 installed for reinforcement, and we'll make sure there's a screw on every stud all the way around at the top, and we'll also come down here on the bottom and we'll get one on every stud on the bottom too. Although it's just going through plywood, it'll still be better than having nothing at all. So let me go ahead and get my clamps, and we'll get these clamped together, and then we're almost finished, friends. Friends, I was getting ready to screw these things down, and I thought of something else that might be very helpful, okay? Finding your studs and knowing where to actually screw through the cabinets. Now out here we're dealing with a OSB wall that we put up here, and you know, we can see the nail heads, you know, so we know about where we can stand back and just kind of eyeball, you know, where the stud is, and we can put a little mark on the face of the cabinet, and then just run our tape measure here on the inside, butt it into the cabinet itself, and we see we got about 14.5. So we can just move to the back of the cabinet, run the tape measure up there at 14.5, and draw us a little line. And and when we get on the ladder to put the ones at the top, basically the same thing. So we'll know with just a measure over 14.5, we should be right there in the center of the stud when we get up top. Now friends, if you're dealing with a kitchen and you got sheetrock on your walls, you'll have to use yourself like a little magnetic stud finder. And I can't find mine right now, but you can pick them up at any home improvement store. And you know, you can just stick them onto the wall until you find a stud, and then just kind of transfer the relation of where it is to the cabinet, take a measurement, and then proceed onto the back side. So you can easily find your studs that way. And actually from this line here, we should be able to just measure over 16. You know, we measure over 16 and put a mark here, we should be right there in the center of the next stud. So friends, just a little helpful tip I wanted to share. Now friends, it's time to screw these cabinets down to the wall. I want to show you these screws that I use. They're a cabinet screw that I get at a wood specialty shop. They're 2.5 inches long, number 10 screw. They got a square drive. But what I like about them is they got a big wide head on them, okay? So they're definitely made for holding something that's not going to pull through that big old head. And so we've got everything marked off. We went ahead and marked, you know, found our studs at the bottom, and we went ahead and transferred the marks onto our one before up top. But I'm just going to quickly demonstrate. These screws are self-tapping. We're going to put one down low and one up high on every stud. I'm just going to demonstrate for you. Real easy. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing screwed down, folks, and we'll be done. Okay friends, we're all done with our little cabinet project today. We got them all hung up there and secured real good. Went ahead and removed our 2x4 from the bottom that we had holding them up during installation. Friends, I want to thank you for watching the video today, and tell a friend about us. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.